So today, no, I do that before I do every video. I don't know why. I don't know what else to say, and like something's like, you know, fucked up in my throat. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But today we're bleeding brakes on this son of a bitch, because as you can tell, well, I don't know, that last rip I went on, you know, when I had the helmet on before I put the windshield in, I had to use the e-brake, you know, to stop, and that's kind of sketchy. But anyhow, these are, I believe these are Q45 Samutos or whatever the fuck they are. Brakes and, you know, big rotors, and not big rotors, but thicker rotors and factory ones. But anyhow, I thought I was having an issue with the damn, you know, caliper, so I replaced it with a stock caliper and a stock, you know, a black rotor. And so anyhow, I got it bled now after all this bullshit. There's this little tool right here. It like forces, you know, brake fluid back up in there, but because when I got the car, the booster wasn't on it, and the brake lines were just open and exposed to all kinds of air. But anyhow, now that we got it all figured out and it's actually holding pressure again, I'm gonna put the, well, these are 300ZX that I was gonna test them and they wouldn't work. But there's the Q45 thing. But so I'm gonna go ahead and put that back on, and I'm gonna show you guys how to bleed brakes with two people. With
the help of a bud.
Yeah. So you need a bud, you know. And if you don't have one, then you're fucked. I don't like those stupid, you know, like the Mighty Vacs or whatever. They work, I don't know, because the way those things seal in there, it's kind of like a point, you know, and then it's supposed to seal kind of like an and fitting. And when you put it like a vacuum on it, it like usually pulls like you know, pulls air up through the threads, and so it doesn't. I haven't got really good, haven't had super good luck with them, but yeah. Off of here, you know, brake line the banjo bolt. Alright, so now we're on to the bleeding stage. So right here's the little bleeding nipple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him, he's in the car, I'm going to tell him to push it down slow. He's going to push it down slow when I have this cracked open. And then when it's at the bottom, I'm going to have him hold the pedal to the floor, you know, and basically so that it doesn't suck air back into the system. So he's going to, you know, and then he's going to pull it back, and then when it's pulled back, then I'll tell him to push it down again. So, alright, push down slow. Back. Down. Alright, so down. Back. Down. Back. Down. Back. Pump it. See, it's actually moving now. And you do that usually until you get the, you know, clean fluid if you're flushing it, or, you know, no air bubbles when you're trying to, if you replace a caliper, or, you know, do a brake swap or something like that. So, how's it feel? Go ahead and pump it.
Pretty good.
Feel like brand new?
Like brand new fresh.
Okay, nice. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do that crap. So yeah, now I hope you guys know how to bleed brakes. It's a little quick thing. Make sure you don't run out of fluid over there in your brake booster. Just starts going through fluid pretty quick. And then what I kind of do is after I'm all done. So what you need to do is you need to start from the furthest caliper from the master. You know, so you bleed this one first, that one second, that one third, and then that one at the very last, you know, or kind of hit them all a little bit and then kind of do a final bleed on them at the end. But make sure to blast everything off with brake cleaner. You know, there's some brake cleaner still drying right there. Brake fluid is actually pretty corrosive, so you know, if you get it on your paint or you get it on any metal surface or, you know, any of that crap, it'll actually eat through the paint and stuff. So like right here on 240s, a lot of the time, you know, the brake masters will actually leak, and you'll get rust right here, or you'll get rust on the frame rail, you know, right underneath there where the lift is. So that's a common rust area, and that's one of the issues and why they do it. But yeah. You can almost tell I got something done. Anyhow, as you can tell, I put the other drift car wheels on this thing, kind of the backup. So these are 18 by 10.5 plus 20, and these are 18 by 10.5 plus 15. So those are Varstones, these are Miros, and you know, 265 in the front and then 275. I think 40, 18 in the back. But yeah, it almost looks like a car now with the windshield and the bumper and everything on. I had a bumper support, you can tell right there. So I cut, you know, kind of cut the bottom of it out. You know, as you can tell, I got all my shit laying everywhere, and little pieces of plastic, so I was trimming it, and hammers because banging on shit. But yeah, so I got a bumper support in there. Got the wheels and everything. As you can see, I went for a little rip in it, and it son of a bitch seems like it pulls pretty hard. I kind of got into it once, and it made like 12 pounds of boost, and I didn't really rev it out. I just kind of got into it. But I want to put my wideband in it, and I want to put the O2 sensor in it, you know, so that when it's idling, it's just not running, you know, rich as shit. But turbo seemed like it spooled decent, you know, as far as street car wise. I mean, you could definitely tell the 2J has a lot more of a sack than the 1J as far as like torque and stuff like that too. I mean, this one's completely different, I guess. It's non-BVTI, and it has the, you know, the 274 GSC cams in it. But yeah, some of it runs good. So I mean, it just needs some paint and kind of some more little shit to button it up, and I think we'll have a nice little street car. So watch all the wiring down there too, Blake, because it's...
I like your GoPro mount, dude. Freaking smash your head on it. Fucking hood was getting all rumbly.
Alright, so I figured I'd go ahead and actually kind of wire the 2J a little better. So this is all the crap I was using. But if you guys ever want to know, I guess, how I wire stuff, or I try to wire stuff pretty simple. Anyhow, this wire right here, that's coming off the main harness, so that gets power when you turn the ignition on, you know, and there's a little plug over here, you know, that all the factory stuff ties into. And I have it coming over here to this relay, and then I have power right here coming off of the battery, direct coming up to the you know, the pin on the relay that needs it, ground, and then the one trigger in it, and then the other wire that, you know, gets excited when, you know, the relay switches. It's powering this little fuse box right here. So it's real simple, and then I have these going, you know, to the wires on the ECU that they need to go to, that need power when they need power. But yeah, essentially that's you know, how you wire it. This is a signal going to the, you know, the fuel pump in the back for that relay, and I just found a wire that ran to the harness. So it technically doesn't need a 15 amp fuse, but it works. So I think this is, you know, a pretty simple way. I mean, it's probably not a, you know, great idea to have the distribution block right here, but it works. You know, so the battery cable coming up from the back, and this distributes, you know, this goes to the starter, and then the other, you know, crap out front, which doesn't really need much power anyhow. But anyhow, if you want to know how a relay works, there's this little thing. And for those of you guys who are scared of wiring, I mean, I'm still scared of wiring, and I mean, it's just a pain in the butt to do, and it's hard to figure out where to start. But relays, basically what they do is so basically the relay takes all the power. So you could take a low, you know, amperage wire, or a wire that doesn't have a lot of power behind it, or a little switch, you know, like triggered by the ECU, and right here, you know, so 86 would be the thing that triggers it. So that's the one I have coming from the factory harness. You hook this up to whatever you want to have power when it switches. This goes to ground, and then the middle one's not used, and then this is the 12 volts. So basically it takes the direct current from the battery right here on the 30 pin of the relay, and it gives it directly to the 87 pin, so that you have full power going through the relay all the time, so you don't have a little wire from the ECU, you know, trying to trigger, you know, or trying to run, you know, big inputs or outputs or whatever. Or you could run a little switch going up to your dash, you know, and you don't have to worry about it getting, you know, all kinds of amperage going through that wire. Whereas you could have this out in the engine bay close to the, you know, like the fans, because this is the fan relay switch. But yeah, this is basically how you wire it. It's real simple, it's easy to do. So what you could do when I switch on the ignition, you could hear it. So yeah, and I'll turn off the fuel pump. But yeah. And so that's basically what that does. And then that's my fuel signal switch or whatever. But yeah, so if ever you guys are working on a project car, you know, you want to use a relay, just Google the relay diagram and kind of go from there. And then you could trigger them with grounds too. You know, there's a million different ways to trigger these, and you know, things that'll switch them off and a bunch of random crap. But yeah, just a basic automotive relay. I mean, all this stuff you could get at AutoZone. Right here, I just used, you know, simple pair of you know, wire strippers, crimps, butt connectors, you know, these little blade terminals that go in the thing, this stuff for some of the thicker stuff, a little bit thicker wire for the actual power, you know, thinner wire for the signals and stuff like that, and then, you know, zip ties and, you know, basically all that crap. So that's how I try to wire my cars. I feel like they're pretty simple. It kind of keeps it on its own, you know, the engine completely separate from pretty much everything else. If one thing goes bad with that, it's easy to diagnose. But yeah, so I need to get that all cleaned up and kind of out of the way. But I figured kind of learn you a little bit, or try to teach you guys something. It seems like you guys appreciate it when I tell you stuff like that. So I mean, I wish I'd had somebody to tell me that shit when I was first initially, you know, doing the swap on my Datsun. I think when I was swapping it, I was like 16 years old, 15, 16 years old or something like that. Swapped a K in it, but yeah, so that's that. Oh, so check this out. So I got the oil line from Mitsubishi. I ordered it. It's OEM Civic line. I ordered it from Extreme PSI on the internet. This is the $25 bolt right there. I think it was 85 bucks for all this stuff shipped. But yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Kind of sucks it was that expensive, but there's this little filter too. So the little filter goes right on the in this guy right here. So the little filter goes in there, and then it has this check valve in it, you know, so it I guess it holds oil pressure, or, you know, whatever, so it doesn't actually drain back into the block, so that the system is full when it needs to be. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and probably put that on.
So sick.
I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. That's the sound of the 2J driving away. I don't know if I'm like smart or if I'm like just stupid as shit, but I ended up trading it for this this Power Stroke right here. That son of a bitch. So one of my buddies had this Power Stroke, and I had the 2J, and he wanted it, and you know, I was kind of at the, I guess, the point of you know, to get the 2J really where I wanted it to be, I was gonna have to spend probably, you know, another $2,000 or so, and you know, to actually get it ready to where it would be, you know, streetable, or, you know, sell or get rid of or trade for something else. And you know, this truck, I could pretty much do a few little minor things to it, and then it should be ready. But yeah, so I kind of feel stupid, but you know, I guess that's why I got this thing right here. You know, to maybe ease my pain, I need to put this that thing in the fuel system so that I could actually dick with it. The Evo, well, I'm kind of stupid. I didn't. I got this Civic line. Ordered that. Got that all in and torqued down. But the clutch disc, I forgot. Right here, clutch disc is just a little too thin, you know, for me to be like actually comfortable with putting it back in. So that's what I'm doing right now tonight. I did this side already, but working on one of my mom's. Well, actually my stepdad's sister's, this is his sister's vehicle. So I'm doing, you know, brakes, rotors, you know, brake shoe and axle seal, you know, on it. So that's what I've been doing tonight. But luckily I got some filming done earlier this week on the Evo stuff and some of the Civic stuff. So yeah, that's I guess that's about this video. I was messing with the Civic. Got it started and idling and stuff, and then I was having an issue with the coil. I went to the junkyard and I got a coil, and then it was some stupid crap. The spark plug wires, I had these other crappy spark plug wires where you actually had to like really like push them down in there to actually get them to like click and make a good connection. And then so I don't know if it trying to, you know, arc like burnt the coil out or something, but so it runs. And stuff like that. I just need to finish buttoning up some stuff on it, and then get it painted, and then get this thing out of here. It's been in here for far too long, and then, you know, I guess it's so I can start driving the Evo.